SPSN Football on Monday night.
Welcome to Highmark Stadium on Bills Drive in Orchard Park, New York. I'm Coach T, and you're watching the Monday Night Recap on SPSN. Tonight, Doug Peterson brings his Jaguars north to face Sean McDermott and the Bills in a closely contested AFC rivalry. Buffalo holds a 10-8 all-time series lead, but Jacksonville won here last season in Week 5. In Buffalo, these teams are dead even at 5-5, making this game a tiebreaker. Both teams enter the matchup sitting third in their divisions. Buffalo, trailing the Dolphins and the Jets in the AFC East, is looking to rebound after a tough loss to Miami. Meanwhile, Jacksonville sits behind Houston and Indianapolis in the AFC South and is gearing up for their first divisional test next week against the undefeated Texans. But first, they have Josh Allen and the Bills to contend with. Don't miss out on future game recaps. Hit that subscribe button and stay up to date with all the action. Jacksonville deferred, so Buffalo starts with the ball. Josh Allen takes a three-step drop to start the game. He's got Amari Cooper one-on-one and completes it near the sideline to move the chains. Now they go ground with James Cook, who has blockers leading the way for him on an 8-yard run. Out of the shotgun, they look for Cook on a screen, but Jacksonville's able to close in on it and hit him for a loss. After another tackle for loss, it's 3rd and 14. Allen takes a quick 5 from under center and rips it to Keon Coleman, but leads him out of bounds for an incomplete pass. Allen may have been a little late on this throw. Coleman just couldn't put the brakes on and ends up stepping out of bounds as he turns to haul it in. They had the coverage beat, an unfortunate end to what looked like a promising drive. So the Jaguars take over on their 21-yard line. They start off with the ground game, but Dorian Williams is there to stop them for no gain. To the air on 2nd down. Pass rush closing in. Lawrence lets it go down the seam. Caught! Christian Kirk brought down in Buffalo territory. We're in a 3-by-2 empty formation here. The Jaguars dial up what looks like a divide concept with a grab. Tim Jones has the alert clear-out route to occupy the corner and make the safety pay attention over the top. Gabe Davis is on this grab curl route to draw in the hook defender, and Christian Kirk is on this middle field read seam route where they can bend it based on the coverage. Lawrence likes Kirk's matchup against Taylor Rapp with his back turned and drops it into the basket for a 39-yard gain. We see Taylor Rapp's stats this season, including that catch given up to Kirk. Out of the gun, it's play action. Etienne stays into block. Lawrence has Kirk on an out route for 16 more yards and another first down. In his 3rd year in Jacksonville, Kirk is proving to be a weapon for Trevor Lawrence. Under center, they go play action again. Can't find a receiver. The pass rush is closing in. He checks it down to Tank Bigsby, who picks up 6 to keep them on schedule. 2nd and 4 in the red zone. Hand off to Etienne, who picks up 3 to make it 3rd and 1. The Jags have leaned on Etienne this season, but he's had a tough time getting it going. Lawrence takes the snap. The defense drops to cover 2. Greg Rousseau wins on the outside and sacks Lawrence for a 12-yard loss. Greg Rousseau tosses Cam Robinson aside to bring Trevor Lawrence down. After another defensive stand, the Jaguars come away with 3. Buffalo takes over on their 30-yard line. Allen under center. Hands off to James Cook, who has a lane and explodes upfield. Evades another tackle and is finally brought down for a 25-yard gain. The Jaguars want a holding call, but the Zebras seem to swallow their whistle. Now on 2nd and 3. Allen takes a 7-step drop. He's well protected, lets it go for Cooper, who hauls it in and sidesteps Tyson Campbell before being brought down around the 10. I want to highlight running back James Cook here. Roy Robertson-Harris swims over Deion Dawkins and Cook picks up the block, giving Allen time to find Cooper downfield. And after one, Jacksonville leads by a field goal, but the Bills are in the red zone. Allen under center to start the second. Drops back, and Jefferson is closing in over the middle, and oh, Coleman hangs on, but Allen can't be throwing hospital balls like that. Allen under center again. The linebacker reads the release of the running back. Allen challenges Campbell again, and touchdown Bills! Amari Cooper with a toe tap for 6. He's later in the progression, and this ball is a little behind him. If he doesn't make that adjustment, then Campbell would have swatted it down, or worse, taken it the other way. Jacksonville looking to respond from their 31-yard line. They open up the drive on the ground with Etienne, and he's able to pick up 3. And I just want to shout out center Mitch Morse for opening up this hole. But it will take more than that when you have all-pro linebacker Matt Milano waiting for you on the other side. They hand it off again for a pickup of 4. But Etienne gets caught from behind to stall the drive. After a 3-and-out, Buffalo takes possession. We'll pick things up on second down as Allen drops back from under center. He evades the pressure, but Ronald Darby knocks down the pass intended for Keon Coleman. Third down under center again. Allen has time, tries for Coleman again, but Johnson swats it away. Jacksonville to receive the punt. Committed to the run are the Jaguars, but Terrell Bernard gets through for a 1-yard loss. He looks to be just getting started tonight. So the Jaguars go to the air after a failed second down. It looks like man coverage, and Lawrence has nowhere to go. Rousseau brings him down for a second time. These defenses are battling as Buffalo takes possession. First down, Allen under center. But Jacksonville blitzes from the heavens, and safety Antonio Johnson sacks Allen for an 8-yard loss. Third and long after a completion to Coleman. Buffalo tries to draw the backer down with a sit over the ball, but he stays disciplined and knocks it down. Man, both these defenses are stubborn tonight. Another punt, and the Jaguars take over around midfield. They'll air it out on first down, and Lawrence connects with Davis on the out route. You know, it seems like I'm saying this every week, but look at the anticipation on this throw. Davis is just out of his break by the time Lawrence has released that ball. And it's already over the defender by the time Davis turns his head. Right in the face mask. First down. Then Etienne adds onto it with a solid 6-yard run, which takes us to the 2-minute warning. On the ground again, and Etienne picks up 7 more and a first down. Etienne has been the go-to guy tonight as the Jaguars try to establish a strong ground game. And they'll call on him again, adding 5 more yards to his total for this evening. To the air on second down. But Daquan Jones gets through, forcing Lawrence out of the pocket. No one open, he heaves it to the corner of the end zone for Thomas, but Cole Bishop delivers a hit to knock the ball out. Thomas had a phenomenal week 1, but was kept quiet in week 2. Lawrence drops back on third down. He's got some good protection as the Bills drop 8, and he hits another outbreaking route. Thomas picks up 16. Timeout, first and goal at the 5. From the gun. Sets his feet, looks right, looking for Ingram, caught, and slips into the end zone. Unsurprisingly, the O-line gets beat, but Lawrence hangs in there and puts the ball far enough away from the DBs for Ingram to make the catch and score. Under 20 seconds to go in the half as Buffalo takes over. Another 7-step drop for Allen. He evades Eric Armstead and takes off up the middle, dodging a tackle from Walker and grabbed around the ankles by Hamilton before falling forward to pick up the first down. For as big as he is always a threat on the ground. Great job by Josh Allen. Takes the snap, hits his back foot, and fires for Coleman near the sideline, but he's off target as the clock hits 0, and on to the SPSN halftime report.
The SPSN Halftime Report is brought to you by Resili's Blitz Energy Drink, the official energy drink of the Philadelphia Eagles. When you need to take on Monday at full speed, dial up a Blitz and sack the day.
After one half of football, the Jaguars find themselves ahead 10-7 in Buffalo. A similar performance for these two offenses as they look to make their halftime adjustments. Both teams are doing well protecting the football, but third down has been an issue. Jacksonville converted 25% of their third downs, while Buffalo is 0 for 3. The Bills are leaning heavy on their passing attack, while the Jaguars have a more balanced approach, despite their struggles on the ground. Josh Allen is 8 for 13, 62 yards and a touchdown. He has excelled against man coverage, but hasn't been able to find much space against zone. An explosive ground game has helped, but he'll need to process better in the second half. Trevor Lawrence hasn't had a problem against zone and has had a very efficient first half, despite a tough Buffalo defense and his offensive line not doing him any favors. If he can keep it up, they may be able to pull off an upset in Buffalo. Travis Etienne has 28 yards on 9 carries. He has a season average of 2.7 yards per carry and is above that tonight with 3.1. If he can manage to break a few more initial tackles, maybe we'll see him hit another 31-yarder like back in Week 1. As for James Cook, he only has 2 carries, while his counterpart Ty Johnson has 1. Cook has been explosive, ripping off a 25-yarder that has set his yards per carry at 16.5. Both defenses have been stout tonight. The Bills with solid linebacker play in zone coverage, playing man-to-man only 20% of the snaps, but sacking Trevor Lawrence twice while playing man and only rushing 4. The Jaguars have brought more pressure on Allen, but have only been able to bring him down once. But they have solid play in the secondary, forcing incompletions and knocking down 3 passes so far tonight. The first team to force a turnover may be the difference in this game. Jacksonville receives the kickoff to start the third quarter. On the ground with Etienne to start the second half, but Rousseau sniffs it out for a 1-yard loss. Second down, it's play action. The pass rush closing in, Lawrence escapes to his right and finds Kirk on the basic route. He is 3 for 3 tonight, and all of them for first downs. Under center, 5-step drop. Rousseau looking for sack number 3, but he heaves it down the field. Complete! 33 yards to Christian Kirk. Jumping ahead to third down on the 8-yard line, they hand it to Bigsby, but Bishop isn't fooled. So they'll tack on another field goal, 13-7 Jaguars. We'll catch up with Buffalo on 3rd and 10. A handoff to Cook, who has a lane to his right, dodges a tackle before being brought down by his shoelaces, converting their first third down of the night. But after the big run, Jacksonville blitzes the safeties again, and Johnson has his second sack of the night. Out of the gun, split backs. Back to Cook, who dodges Johnson and adds 11 more yards to his great day on the ground. Third down, 7-step drop. Hamilton closing in, and Allen escapes. Robertson Harris in pursuit, but he gets blocked, and Allen gets the first down with his legs. 1:30 left in the third. Another 7-step drop from Allen. With time, he likes the matchup between Cooper and Campbell, but Campbell comes out on top this time, almost picking him off. We'll jump ahead to third down in the eye. Allen play action, takes a shot downfield to Coleman, who spins around and makes the grab. Darby's momentum carries him away. Coleman accelerates and crosses the goal line for a 54-yard touchdown. It's a go route, and Coleman gets a step on Darby. Allen sees the defender's back turned and knows he can only cover the width of his shoulders. It's a far throw, but you'd like to see Allen put this one out in front of him instead of behind him where the ball ends up, as if the defender was over the top. Luckily, Darby is so focused on catching up to Coleman, he's able to adjust and make the grab. Under 30 seconds left in the third. Etienne up the middle, but Milano hits him for a 1-yard loss. Another missed block by the O-line. Shelton takes his man, Ingram gets the linebacker, and Harrison is supposed to seal off the edge, but he takes a bad step and gets beat. 14-13 Buffalo, fourth quarter coming up. Lawrence sees Rapp come down into the box and changes the protection. Drops back, Rapp fakes the blitz, and Lawrence has time. Slings it over the middle and caught by Davis for 28 yards. Taylor Rapp is either bluffing or reading the number 2 receiver, Christian Kirk, and puts on the brakes. He turns to cover his man while the other safety goes over the top to help on the other side. Tim Jones is running vertical from the slot, and this entire side of the field is completely vacant, allowing Davis to run the post right into the space. I'm not sure what the call was, but it's safe to say that Bobby Babich won't be calling that one again. Gabe Davis coming over from the Bills via free agency this year. Lawrence out of the gun, takes the snap, looks right, turns down Thomas on the curl, tries to get to the next option, but the pass rush gets home. 3rd and 21. What's on the call sheet to get out of this one? Lawrence drops back from under center, looks right, feels the pressure, and just tosses it. He is getting tunnel vision out there. After the punt, Buffalo takes over at their own 16-yard line. 1st down, Allen under center. They run levels over the middle of the field, and Allen finds Cooper in the crowd. Josh Allen threads the needle here right through the defender's hands. Out of the gun, Allen hands it off to Cook, but the linebacker tracks him into the gap and hits him for only a yard. Under center again, takes a 5-step drop. Good coverage downfield as Eric Armstead brings him down, released by San Francisco and picked up by Jacksonville in March. Their drive would end on the next play, and they punt it back to the Jaguars. Shotgun, Trevor Lawrence drops back, looks left, has Thomas complete on the basic route for 18 yards. Thomas seems to be getting his rhythm back after no catches last week. 1st down at the 29. Lawrence drops back, looks right, unloads for Thomas in the end zone. Touchdown, Jaguars! Brian Thomas for a 33-yard score. They're running a divide to that side of the field against cover 2. Lawrence reads the safety. If he goes outside to cover Thomas on the go route, then he can hit Ingram on the seam. But if he goes inside to cover Ingram, he looks to hit Thomas on the go, which is exactly what happens. Buffalo, down by less than a touchdown, looks to get things rolling and retake the lead. After a few big 1st down runs by Ty Johnson and James Cook, the Bills are closing in on the red zone. On their own 32, Allen drops back from under center. Well protected, he wants Coleman in the end zone, but can't connect. So they're going for it on 4th and 8. Allen with time, he looks for Cooper, but he can't keep it in bounds. The throw is a little late, forcing Cooper to adjust, and he just couldn't get the toe tap. So the Jags take over after the turnover on downs. Which takes us to the 2-minute warning. Under center, Lawrence drops back. He looks for Thomas on the slant, but a leaping interception by Taylor Rapp. He's got room, but Lawrence is able to knock him down. The Bills are still alive with the 1:30 left in the game. It's triple slants, and I don't know if Thomas didn't flatten it out enough or if Lawrence just didn't see Rapp getting ready to charge from behind that linebacker. Either way, Rapp jumps in front of it and gives Buffalo a shot to go win this game. From their own 22, Allen has good protection. He tries again for Coleman in the end zone and connects this time. Touchdown Bills, his 2nd of the night. After the PAT, the Jaguars are down by just 1 point. Lawrence stands in the pocket and heaves one up to Gabe Davis, who pulls it down. They use their 1st timeout. Well protected, Lawrence looks right, launches it downfield for Thomas, who gets them to the 9-yard line.
That was a heck of a pass, man. I knew
They try to punch it in a few times with ETN, but come up short, even adding a delay of game penalty on top of it. But they manage to secure a field goal and the lead. Buffalo takes over at the 25 with under 40 seconds. No timeouts left. In the I formation, Jaguars drop 8 into coverage. Allen throws underneath to Knox, who evades one tackler, but the Jags swarm him and knock him down. And that's the game. Our final score for this nail-biter, the Jaguars 23, Bills 21. It was efficiency and explosiveness against volume and timing. The Bills took 80% of their 40 total snaps from under center. This allowed their passing and ground attacks to be a little more unpredictable, but not a lot of play action to be found. The Jaguars were much more balanced in their 43 snaps, but their running game just couldn't find its footing. Josh Allen had a lower yardage output but was mistake-free and capitalized on key moments. Only 150 yards on the night, but threw 3 touchdowns. Meanwhile, Trevor Lawrence was the driving force behind Jacksonville's passing success, despite that fourth-quarter interception that led to a Buffalo touchdown. Still, he completed 70% of his passes and finished with 125.6 QBR. Travis Etienne struggled to gain consistent yardage on his 18 carries. With the exception of a long run in Week 1, this has been the trend for him so far this season. Buffalo dominated the ground game between James Cook and Ty Johnson, averaging over 10 yards per carry combined and over 12 yards per carry for Cook alone. The Jaguars' receivers were targeted deep as both Thomas and Davis averaged over 20 yards per reception. You wonder about the rookie's consistency after taking over Week 1 against the Dolphins, but being shut down last week against the Browns. The Bills targeted Cooper and Coleman a combined 20 times for 3 total touchdowns, but the entire Buffalo receiving corps only had around a 54% catch rate, making it difficult for them to move the chains. The Jaguars' secondary was able to force incompletions and yield coverage sacks, but had trouble when they were backed up in the red zone. Buffalo did have a clutch fourth-quarter pick by Taylor Rapp, but they were unable to stop the Jags' offense from getting into field goal range in the final seconds of the game. The Jaguars in second place in the AFC South after Week 3. They are set to play their first divisional game of the season next week against the undefeated Texans. And speaking of undefeated, there are 4 teams in the league who have yet to record a loss after 3 weeks of play. Joining Houston are the Rams, Eagles, and Dolphins. And we'll leave you with a look around the league after the results of Week 3. Comment down below how your favorite team is doing and if they're going to face the Jaguars this season. Until next time, folks, Coach T signing off for the SPSN Network.